Greetings guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. I hope that you are well and I hope that you are fighting because there's a lot to be fighting for. As usual, there'll be a link in the description to the page on my website with a bunch of petitions, donations, emails to send MPs, etc, etc. Today, it is the last day of 2020, or the second to last day of 2020, depending on which day I decide to upload this. And my god, I think we can all agree, what a year. 2020 has been the most absurd year for everyone. That goes without saying. What was that? I don't need to go into detail. I think we all have a mutual understanding of why 2020 was. But a lot of you have been asking me to talk about my 2020 and what I plan to do in 2021. So I thought I'd sit down and we would talk about that because I have a lot to say and there's a lot of things I want to talk about my 2020 with you. So this is a bit more of a personal video. If you're not into me talking about myself for like 15 minutes, then you don't have to watch this. Thank you for coming along and I will see you next time. But if you are interested to know sort of more about my life and my going-ons, then here we are. Let's talk about 2020. I am so lucky to have had the 2020 that I did. I know 2020 was such a bad year for so many people and it's so awful, and I'm so sorry to like everyone as to how this year has negatively impacted so many people, both physically and mentally. It's been a really difficult and strange time. I am extremely lucky to the fact that 2020 worked really well for me. I feel almost selfish for saying that 2020 has been the best year of my life by a long shot. But to be fair, the other years of my life have just been trash. The competition wasn't too stiff. But yeah, I wanted to talk about my 2020 and express a bunch of stuff to you that I think is important and that I really want to express. So let's go back. Let's go back to the beginning. I grew up in New Zealand. Yeah, there's not a ton there to do, and I have always wanted to go into the creative industry, particularly into music and singing. And when I was 9 years old, I decided that I wanted to move to London to pursue that because it's really hard to do in New Zealand, and I knew that it was hard to do in New Zealand. And I didn't want to go to the States because the States have guns and that was scary. Do not want to be there. And also I have a passport for the UK and I have family here. So it seemed like a very good plan to be able to come to the UK to pursue what I want to do. And my heart stayed on that forever. I always knew that this is where I wanted to be. I always planned to come here once I finished school. When I was 11, I met my best friend Kat, whom I live with. We have a podcast together. And if you've watched our podcast, you already know this, but very shortly after we met, we made a plan to move to London together after we finished school. And then she moved away. She moved overseas. For many years, we lived in different countries, but we talked all the time and I would go and visit her. I visited her in Indonesia. I visited her in Tokyo. And then she came and visited me a couple times back in New Zealand. We went through a lot. As you know from a few videos back, I was in an abusive relationship for a few years of my teenage life. I was severely depressed. I struggled with eating disorders. I didn't think that I would make it to London. I didn't think I would make it to my 18th birthday, let alone finishing school and ending up in London. But coming to London with Kat was something that kept me going through everything, through all of it. It was, one day we will get a flat together in London. One day we will live together in London. And every time it felt like the end of the world and I didn't want to be here anymore, we would talk and we would say, one day, it'll happen. It'll happen one day. And that is what got both of us through every bad day for years. Every bad day was, one day we will have a flat together in London. December 2019, I came over with my dad and my sister for Christmas to see our family here, and I didn't go home. I lived with my auntie and uncle all year. As a lot of you probably know, I was living with them from December up until I moved in here. It was hard, you know, like I was applying for jobs and then we went into lockdown. Corona happened and it became impossible to find work. It was impossible. There were no jobs available because the only experience I have is in like retail. And it was hard enough finding a retail job being new and not having any experience in the UK and the amount of competition within finding jobs. Then going into lockdown and having everything shut. Impossible. You can't find jobs. Everyone was losing jobs, let alone being able to find any. And so I was really stressed. I was living off of savings. Luckily, I could stay with my family, my auntie and uncle. I was very, very privileged to have a place to stay in London and not have to pay rent. That was so, so lucky for me. And so many people do not have that same experience. Most people do not. And I understand that I'm very privileged in that. I didn't have anything to do. I was bored. I wasn't working. I had writer's block, so I was struggling writing music. I didn't have any friends, and even if I did, we couldn't do anything. So I started making TikToks. And TikTok became my entire life. I was posting 6 to 12 times on TikTok every single day. It just consumed me. I was on TikTok for like 8 hours a day. It was ridiculous. Absolutely freaking ridiculous. But I think a lot of us are on the same page. Spend hours on different social media apps because what else is there to do? And I started making them and they did kind of okay. You know, I was getting like a few hundred views, which was cool. I was like, oh, look, I got 1,000 views, and celebrating those were like so cool. And then it was April and I bought blue and green hair dye and I was like, okay, I'm going to change my hair from pink to blue and green. But then I saw an Instagram video of this woman dyeing her hair rainbow and I sent it to my friends and they were like, I dare you. I dare you to dye your hair like that. And so I did. And that is when my entire life changed. I dyed my hair and that day literally changed my life. That was the best decision I've ever made in my entire life. I posted a TikTok and it just blew up because everyone was talking about my hair and following me because of my hair. And I gained 20k like overnight. And then I was gaining like 6k a day for a couple weeks. And I was just gaining traction on TikTok because people saw my videos and liked them. And a lot of the time, you know, on TikTok, you see a video that you like and you don't usually follow the person. But because of my hair, people were following me. And I know this because they told me this. People would follow because of my hair. They didn't just like it. They were like, ooh, I like this vibe. I'm going to follow them. And I think that that's really funny. But it really pushed my account and I ended up gaining, I think I got 100k within a couple months. My videos were doing quite well. I was getting some with like, you know, 500,000 views, which was really cool. It was just really cool. And it was a way to spend my time and it was really validating. And I was trying to use the platform to like help people. So I was like talking about important causes and trying to raise awareness for things. And I made a couple of friends and it was just a really good way to spend my time. And I was able to create my website where I added petitions and things that I was able to update and get people to help different causes, which I thought was really cool. And I really enjoyed having, you know, a platform where I was able to help educate people and help spread awareness for things and talk about things, because that's all I really have ever wanted, is being able to share my experiences and help people. And I've just always wanted a platform to talk about things and to entertain people and educate them and validate them in the process of entertaining them. You know, that's what I've always wanted forever. Seeing that do so well gave me the confidence to start a YouTube channel, because people were telling me, they're like, I really enjoy watching you. You're so entertaining. You should make YouTube videos. Do you have a YouTube channel? And I was like, maybe I should. You know, I have a lot to say. I talk a lot. And a minute on TikTok is not enough for me. So I started uploading regularly on YouTube. On here. Hi, this is YouTube. It was like slow, you know, at first, as you'd expect, which was kind of frustrating considering on TikTok I had like 150k. Having only like getting like 1,000 people on YouTube from an audience of 150,000 is like kind of frustrating. which I know I shouldn't complain. A lot of people don't even have that. But it is kind of this frustrating thing because like TikTok is a hell app. I have 2 videos on this channel about how much I hate TikTok. But so I really, really wanted to move off of TikTok and come onto YouTube because I just couldn't handle it anymore. TikTok is so stressful. It's a nightmare. So I was trying really hard with YouTube and trying to find content that fit me and that I wanted to do and that I enjoyed making. And so I was uploading, 2-3 times a week from May. I uploaded my first reacting to straight TikTok video in August. And it did better than some of my other, it did better than my other videos. It got up to 1,000 views, which my other videos didn't really do. Then after a few weeks, it started gaining views and I watched it. I watched it sort of like pick up and like slowly every day would like increase at an exponential rate. Like it was getting 1,000 a day, then it was getting 2,000 a day, then 4,000 a day. And then it just started getting, it was getting like 40,000 views a day. And I was like, what is going on? I was losing my shit. Watching this video that I'd made like a month earlier, just gaining and gaining and gaining views. And then another video started doing the same. My lesbian sex education video started also just gaining views at a huge exponential rate. And I realized that like that video, that straight TikTok video was doing really good. So I decided to make a video that was along the same lines. And then that video started doing really well. And I was watching these videos just accumulate views. And with it, I was also gaining like tons of subscribers. Every time I refreshed my YouTube studio page, I'd gain like 100 subscribers for weeks. It was weeks. Every day I was gaining like 10k subscribers. And it was the most ridiculously incredible thing to watch. The timing of this was incredible because just before that had happened, I was in a kind of bad place in terms of the fact that, you know, I was running out of money and it's impossible to find a job. And I didn't want to go home back to New Zealand. I really did not want to do that, but it was looking like I would have to. And it was really hard because I didn't want to. And also you have to pay so much money to get back to New Zealand right now because you have to pay for the isolation hotel costs as well as how expensive the flights are. And it was really, really heartbreaking having to consider leaving London and going back home when I really, really was not ready to leave here. I was talking about it with Kat because she also did not want to be where she was. She wanted to come to London with me as well, but neither of us had jobs. We didn't have any money. We didn't know what to do. And we had to seriously consider going back to New Zealand. And we called every night and just cried because everything was so close, but we couldn't take it. You know, this dream that we've had for half our lives of getting a flat together in London was this close. And it was just all falling away because we couldn't afford it. We couldn't do anything about it. And it was really hard. It was really difficult. And then right when we were looking at buying flights is when all of this started. And I started making money on these YouTube videos because they were doing so well. And I kept sitting there and every day just being like, this has to stop. This has to slow down. There's no way this is real. There's no way this can keep up. But it kept going and it just kept going. And I hit 100k in the same month I hit 4k. Absolutely phenomenal. It's wild. Absolutely wild. I hit 100k on October 4th. And I have, 210k? It's absolutely ridiculous. And, like, This video is all over the place. This is what happens when I don't have notes and I just go off my brain. I have ADHD and I can't stay on topic, so I'm so sorry. What was I talking about? Yeah. Everything was going so quickly and I saw that I was starting to make money, and there was this little sliver of hope where I was like, if this stays like this, we can get a flat in London. And so Kat and I held off booking flights home. We were talking about it and just being so skeptical because of how quickly it was all happening. And the idea that it could stay at that level, like the idea of continuing to average over 100k views per video it didn't seem likely. So we were there like, it can't. And it did. And I'm so still in shock over that. It's mind-blowing, and I cannot put into words how incredible that is to me. After a month of getting all my videos of over 100k views, I decided to take the leap and trust that I would be able to continue doing this and keep putting out content that was getting good views, and trust that I was going to be able to continue to earn money off of this. And so Kat came over to London and we found a flat together. I cannot tell you, like, this is gonna make me cry, how much that means to us. Like I said, this is something that we have been talking about half our lives. Been through a lot. Yeah, like there was years there where I didn't think I would even be alive, let alone living my actual dream. YouTube has always been something that I want to do. Music and YouTube are the two things that I've always wanted to do. And being able to get to this place so quickly has been phenomenal. I can't even describe to you. This year has been so intense in every matter of this, in every matter of the word. It's changed so much. I am a completely different person now than I was a year ago. My life has flipped completely on its head. Just over a year ago, I was depressed. I had relapsed into my eating disorder, and I was living at home back in New Zealand, and I just was not happy. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I knew I was going to London, which was incredible, but I had no idea what I was doing. I just wanted to be away. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that this is where I would be at the end of 2020, especially not given the circumstances of this year. The amount of times that I thought I was going to have to give up and go home, and the amount that broke my heart, the amount of times that I cried because I didn't know what to do and how I was going to do it. And here I am. You've literally made everything I have ever wanted, you have given to me. And I say it all the time on Instagram, but I don't think I've said it enough to you here. Like, I know I say thank you, and I know I've said thank you multiple times, but I don't think I can tell you how thankful I am. I genuinely could not find the words that tell you how much this means to me. And not to be all sappy or whatever, but like, genuinely, both mine and Kat's lives have just been made. This is the first time in my life that I am content. This is the first time in my life that I am happy. And it's not because of the amount of subscribers I have or the amount of views I get. It's the fact that I'm able to do something that I love, and I made it to the place that I always promised myself I would. And I want you to take something away from that if you can. I know I have a lot of younger viewers, and I know I have a lot of viewers who struggle with mental health and depression and anxiety, and I want you to know that I understand. And I have been there, and I promise you that it can get better. I've worked so hard every day, and I don't mean working in the sense of being productive towards capitalism. I mean working just to stay alive for a lot of it. There is a lot of time that I haven't done much, and I haven't been productive to the outside world, but I've kept myself going when I didn't want to, and I've pushed myself every day, and I've overcome every obstacle, even though it sometimes causes excruciating pain, and it's gotten me here. I know that it's really, really hard, and that it really, really hurts, and I just hope that you know that it is possible. It is so useful to have something to hold on to and something to look forward to. This was my thing, and now I'm here. I don't know what I want anymore. I don't need anything else. There's nothing more that I need. Genuinely, I wanted to talk about my goals for 2021. My goal for 2021 is to just continue to do this, to be here. That's all I need. And to go home for my sister's 18th birthday. And that's what's hard, is that I wasn't able to go home for Christmas. Obviously, most of us weren't. I haven't seen my family for a year, and I miss them. So I'm hoping that I'm able to go home in October for my little sister's 18th birthday and for her high school graduation. That's really my only goal for this year, is to be able to maintain this, to stay here, to keep making content for you, and to hopefully have you continue to enjoy my content. I want to try making some new content, but it's really scary because I know that you guys like the content that I'm making, and I'm really scared to branch out and do new stuff because I'm afraid that you won't like it. And I need to remind myself that if I don't like it, you won't like it, you know? And if I like it, you will. And it's just scary. And I do love the content that I make. I really enjoy the content that I make, but I want to try other stuff as well, you know? Like, I post 2-3 times a week, and I think it'll be cool to do like something different every now and then. So if there's anything in particular you want to see me do, let me know. I'd be keen to try something new, try some new things. I have a few things lined up that I'm kind of scared to do that I've been putting off, but I think are going to be really cool, and I really hope that you like them. Yeah, I've just been rambling for half an hour now. I just really wanted to say thank you. And I know 2020 has been a shit year for so many people, and I know how lucky I am for it to have gone so well for me. Don't get me wrong, it has been hard on my mental health in a lot of ways. It's also obviously been really great for me, and again, I feel kind of bad for that, and I know I shouldn't, but I do. And yeah, goal for 2021, if I had to put a number goal on it, 500k. Let's go. We got this. No, but for real, honestly, I am so grateful to every single one of you. And I know I've said that like 6 times during this, but again, words cannot describe. If I was to do physical goals for next year, I would really like to be able to come up with some new music for you. That would be really cool. I know that a bunch of you would like to hear more music from me. I really want to produce more music, but I find it really hard to write when I'm happy. So I'm working on that at the moment. It would be really cool to have more people listen to my podcast. Kat and I do a podcast together. It's called Savvy Cat Productions. It's on Spotify and on YouTube. It'd be really cool to get like 10k on there. If you enjoy me just rambling and talking about shit, it's a fantastic podcast. I highly recommend it. But yeah, other than that, you know, I feel almost selfish asking for like subscriber goals on this channel just because of how much it has grown and how much I have achieved. I don't want to sound greedy by asking for more, you know? You've given me more than I could ever ask for. And obviously I would like to continue this growing, and I would love to have more subscribers. And obviously that's a goal of mine, but my subscriber goal keeps getting bigger because they keep getting reached. And I'll come up with one later. I feel like I've just reached one and I need to take a break before coming up with the next one because I feel greedy, you know? I know this is my job, but I feel greedy. So we'll talk about it later. Anyway, thank you so much for 2020. I am so sorry that it has been such a bad year for so many people. And I really do hope that the situation improves shortly. I really do hope that you are taking care of yourself because that is the most important thing. Make sure that you are eating and that you are drinking water and that you are sleeping. Those are the most important things that you need to be doing. I hope you know how much you mean to me and how much I genuinely care about you, and I want you to be safe and well. I hope you know how much you have helped me. Like, you have helped me so much. I struggle a lot with mental illness and mental health stuff, and it's been really up and down all year, and you have given me stability and you've given me hope and you have made my dreams come true, and I could not be here without you. So thank you. I hope that you have a day. I know that right now it's really hard, and I can't tell you that 2021 is magically going to be everything better because it's not. And I know that it's hard, and I don't want to tell you to have a good day because not every day is good, and that is okay. So, for the last time of 2020, a big thank you to my Kiwi Fruit channel members whose names are up on the screen right now. And a massive thank you to my channel member of the day, Kareen. I love and appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for joining. If you would like to become a channel member, you can click the little blue join button or the top link in the description. You get 10% off my shop where I sell these really cute fair trade organic hoodies as well as in mug form. And you also get my videos a day early, which is cool. I love seeing all your comments with little kiwi stickers. It makes me happy every time, so thank you. I'm sorry if this was boring or like sappy. This is my personality. This is who I am. If you follow me on Instagram, you know this is like every Instagram caption I ever have. Speaking of Instagram, you should give me a follow. The Queer Kiwi on Instagram. That's a follow goal. I'd love to have like 50k on Instagram. Come on, guys. We got this. Help me gain followers on Instagram. My camera's about to die, so I'm gonna have to leave now. Thank you so much for coming along. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, your year. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah. And when you close your eyes, you replay